Hello, welcome back. In the last video, we understood the very basics of React. We saw how components work and how the React compilation or transpilation happens with JSX. This was all done using HTML. This video, we shall see how a regular React work is done, how the React project is set up. Let's get started. So up until now, what did we see? We were having a HTML page which had both the React DOM and the React JavaScript. And the third thing which we had was the Babel script for transpiling JSX to JSX to JavaScript. So all these things was happening on the browser. The JSX to JavaScript was happening on the browser. This is very good for learning the concepts and good for understanding how these JavaScripts work and to learn the concepts basically. But this approach does not scale for production. It is a very slow approach because everything is transpiled here. So how exactly this is done for a production grade application is what we are going to see today. So initiating with the dev setup, let's start from here. We have JavaScript files, we have JSX files, we have some static images, we have HTML files. So what we do is with the help of Babel, Babel like we know is a transpiler with the help of Webpack, which is used for bundling the JavaScript modules and other assets of the application. And with the help of Node. Node, as you know, is used for building, installing, the server-side rendering, etc. for the Node application. So with the help of all these three things, what we do is we package the JSX, JavaScript, everything together into a production grade, like a already transpiled format, a compact format, a minified format, which is useful for faster rendering on the end browsers. Okay, that's what is the dev setup, and that's what we use while doing the development and deploying to the production. Now, what are the steps for this? So first thing is you have to install the Node.js and npm. From where to install, I'll give you the location in the chat window or in the description. The second thing is what we need to install. So we need to install this create React app CRA, which has to be, again, we use npm Node Package Manager for this installation. The other thing which we do is this is the important thing, correct? We need to create this React package. So that's what we are doing here. We are creating a React package. So this will be the base React package with all Babel, React libraries, everything included, Webpack, everything included. And if you start this application, by going to a folder. So this and this is not matching. Actually, this is my React app. So this should also be my React app. So if you cd to that specific folder and you do npm start, you shall be able to see your website at this link. Okay, so this is what we are going to see, and we shall also see that how can we customize that code. So let's start with the demo now. So you can download the node and npm from here. Just wanted to show you the site also from where you can download. So let's start with the demonstration now. The first thing which we have to do is we have to install the Node.js and npm, which I showed you the link from where to install. Second thing is you have to install uh, the CRA. So this is what you have to do. npm install. Now this is already installed in my machine. So what I'm going to do, because it will take some time, so I'll just do a Control C. I'll stop it here. You have to do this installation. Post that you have to create your application. So let's call it, uh, this is a command, and let's call the application chapter 3 demo. One thing is that it does not accept capital letters, so I'm making it a small letter. So now it says that it is installing React, React DOM, React scripts, and CRA template. So we will wait for some time till this installation is done. So the React application creation is completed now. as you can see here. So it has given me also a list of commands which are there. We are going to see this in the project also, but let's quickly go through this. npm start, this will start the development server, whereby you would be able to see the application on your browser. npm run build, it will bundle the app for production. So this is the JavaScript and other files which you can directly put on production, and you can run the application in the production. Test we are going to ignore. npm reject also we are going to ignore now. We will see it later as the time comes. So let me show you how the current app looks. So I have to do npm start. Why? Because I want to start the development server. Okay, so it has started it. It is mentioning here that you can see it on the browser here, and browser is automatically opened and I can see this here. Now what I'll do is I will open the source code on the code, Visual Studio Code, and we'll see the source code from there. Then we will optimize, we will delete all the unnecessary part which is relevant right now, and we will put one component and we will see how to reuse the components. So that's what is the plan. Let's get started. Now I have this application open. Let's see what are the key components there. So node modules, all the dependencies are there. Public, inside the public, all the public files are available. The relevant file for us is index.html. In the source file, all the component related files are there. Okay, so let's see what is there in the base application, and post that we will make it simplified for us to understand how React works in detail. So if I go here, the important thing which I have to see here is that there is a div by the name root. Now post this, I'll go to index.js, and index.js, what I do is I get this element, and what I render here, this app is what I render. Okay. React.strict mode is meant for giving warnings if there is anything wrong in your code, and you have to remove it when you are deploying your application to production because it bulges the app. It makes your app slow. So you have to remove this when you are deploying your code to production. But let's get started. So we have this app component. So for that, we have to go to app.js, and this is the definition of the component which we have written. Okay, and we saw there is a logo which is coming, there is a text which is coming, everything is written here. Let me make it very, very simplified, and we'll start from the simplification so that we have very less number of files to go through, and we start from ground up from there. Package.json is the dependencies. Here we have the dependencies listed, and this is when we say npm start, basically it does this react script start for build this, test this, and eject react scripts eject. Okay, so the details you will see slowly, but for now, let's remove all the things which we want to remove for making a very, very base application. So I'll delete everything and I'll come back. So now as you see, only the relevant files are there. Because the dependencies are removed, whatever is removed, I have to delete it from the references also. Let me do that. So I have deleted almost everything. Let's see if it gives any problem. If it gives any problem, we'll delete whatever dependencies are still left. So I'll open it in Chrome one more time. Uh, so let me go to terminal first. So I go here and I do npm start again. Whatever I had placed there has come. Now we'll do two things. The first thing is we'll put some CSS here. Let's start with the inline CSS, and then we'll place the CSS from a file also. And second thing which we'll do is we'll create our own component and we'll use the component. So I'm here. So if I have to use a CSS here, so first thing is I have to create the CSS. So this is what I create, div style. Okay. And what I have to do here, this class name is of no relevance now because I have already deleted the CSS file where this class name was being referred. So what I'll do here is I'll say style. So this is the name. This is the name. So it says light blue and everything. So if I see here, it has become a light blue. Okay, so this is the change which we have done by incorporating the CSS. If we want to create a CSS in the file, we have to click here to create a new file. If I say, let's say I say it styles.css is the name which I give, then in the styles.css what I have to do is I have to put a styling element. Let's say I copy paste for the speed. This is the thing which I want to give. Okay, so this is what I have given now. Now what I'll do here is inside a div, let me create one more div section. And for this div section, what I'll do is I have to give a class name. And what is the class name? Class name is what has been created here. It was called comp div. This is how I want to place it here. Now, one thing to remember is this is giving error. Why it is giving error is because when we do a return, we have to return only one element. If we have multiple elements, we have to place them inside one div section. So let me do that. And I have now placed everything inside one div section. And I can say Command Shift P, or I can open a command palette, and I can say format document to format it. So this is formatted now. Let's see how it looks now. Oh, so I had made a mistake. Sorry. I was wondering why the style is not coming. Base thing why the style is not coming is because I have not imported it. So let me import it as well. So this is the name which I had. So now you see that this div section has been colored in yellow. That is exactly what we had said here when we said it should be yellow with a border of blue. Okay, now we have seen two things. We have seen inline CSS, which was this. This is inline, wherein the CSS is present inside the component itself. The other thing is referring the component, referring the CSS from a file. We have done it here. Now the third thing which we want to see is we want to create our own component, and we can see how we reuse the component. So let me go here, create a new component. I'll call it my component.js. Okay, so in the component again we have to do the same thing which is there in the previous file also, which is the importing. Yeah, it's already coming. So this is good. And then we have to write what we are exporting. So let's say we have to write the component definition is what we have to do is, let's say my comp. Okay, so now we have to write a return, and inside the return is what we would be writing. So let me close this return first. Now inside this is what I have to define the return, what I want to return. So let's say I want to return a div, and what I'll do here is let's say I would put a h3, and I'll say I am from inside a component. Okay, so this has been created now. Now the important thing which we have to do is we have to export this as well. So how? So export default, and what is the name? My comp. So this is what is exported now. Now what I have to do is if I've exported, I have to import it where I want to use this component. So for example, let's say I want to use it here. So now if I have to use it here, we have to import it here. So the name of the component was mycom. So import mycom from here. It's grayed out because it's not in use right now. So if I have to use it, let's say I want to use it here. So I have used it here. Now let's see what happens. So this is from the component. Okay, so let's give it also some styling. So I go here. Let's say I want to have it as a light green, and this is my comp. So I would be saying my comp here. And then what I have to do is I have to give a class definition here in the new component which I created. So what was the class? Class name equal to, sorry. I would copy, rather I'll copy from there. Class name is mycomp. So this is done. Let's see what happens to the app. So the component is becoming a green one. Now let me show you the powers of what we have done here. So what I'll do is I'll add some more elements here. So let me say, so if we see here, this is coming from the component. Now let's say that I have to use this component 10 times. So what I can quickly do, the reusability which we were discussing earlier, if I define it here 10 times, and I can close it directly, no need to write a second tag. Like this also I can close. And if I save, I am seeing it 2 times. If I have to do it multiple times, I can put it multiple times. And thereby, if I save it, now you can see so many of these have been placed here because I'm able to reuse the component which I created. Okay, now let's summarize what we have done in this specific video. So what we did from the CRA, create React app, we created a React app. We deleted whatever we were not intending to learn in this chapter. And then we saw that how exactly this React works. So there is an index. In the index, we have the component where we want to load we have the element, sorry, not component, the element where we want to load our component. So this is where we want to load. And then the same thing, index.js is the one which would do the rendering. So we get the element, if you see get element ID, by ID, if you scroll there, it is root. And then we are rendering here this app. This app component is coming from where? From the app.js. This is defined here. This is the definition of the app component, and inside the app component we have nested one more component by the name my component, and the my component definition is here, and we are using a CSS which we created on our own, and we have these two classes compdef and mycomp which are used between app.js and mycomponent.js, and thereby we are able to see all these changes in the application which is indicated here. Okay, so this is the start. Hope you liked it. Thank you very much.